An AEW star has been pulled from TV due to backstage heat. A released WWE star wants a run in Impact Wrestling, and WWE have confirmed the signing of Jade Cargill. More on that in a little bit. First and foremost, good afternoon, Joe Hendry. How the hell are you doing? Can you see Joe Hendry over there?
Hi, Joe.
How you doing, Joe? How you doing?
Hi.
But an AEW star has been pulled from television due to backstage heat. Bully Ray sat in a corner with a dick in his hand because of the mention of heat. But Serena Deeb hasn't been seen on AEW TV since October 2022, and this appears to be down to some backstage heat. Fraser, what is the scoop?
Yes, according to Deeb's status on Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez has said that he hasn't got any answers either about why she's not been on TV. But he says, something's happened. There's some sort of heat over something. So whatever it is, she's just not being used. Now, we know that she's not really been seen for, well, as you said, since October 2022. That's a long gap. We're about to hit October.
Yeah, we are about to hit October.
Isn't
life flying past too quickly? Yeah, but it is a massive shame. Obviously, if backstage heat's there, I guess having her out the firing line, so to speak, in a weird turn of phrase from me there, makes all the sense in the world. But also, she's one of, if not the most talented professional wrestlers they have in the company. So not to utilised in some form or fashion, just purely from an on-screen, fan viewing perspective.
Right.
It's a little bit of a shame.
And also trying to boost that division in terms of numbers of people that are because they've got a lot of young talent as well. She's someone that has a lot of experience, as you said, that could boost that division in that way, or even down in Ring of Honor. But it's strange that we're not quite sure what the heat is. But it's bad enough to take her off TV.
Yeah, should we just recklessly speculate for a minute or two? Do you not want to?
It's up to you.
I don't think we should. It's pretty unclassy, that, isn't it, just to make up things, and is it? We should probably move on.
Yeah.
We'll move on to a released WWE superstar who wants an Impact Wrestling run. That is Massey of MMM, who will be on an all brand new episode of Desert Island Graps, going live on a podcast feed near you tomorrow morning. Fraser, what has he been saying?
I'm really excited for this potentially happening because Mace is actually, he's very entertaining, along with Mansoor. The Maximum Male Models were actually one of my favourite acts of last year. Yeah. But he's speaking to Tom on Desert Island Graps, which, as Ross says, you can hear tomorrow. He says they're keen on a run in Impact. He says the Impact Twitch was in our stream and we saw them. I don't know what came over us. We said, bring us home, baby. And he says that we have no affiliation with Impact, but we're spiritually TNA guys. He said it's funny because all the producers for WWE right now are those TNA guys.
So you got Abyss. Who else is there?
Petey Williams.
Is Petey Williams still there?
Petey Williams is still there. You've got Nick Aldis.
That makes sense. I guess he sort of qualifies as that, yeah.
You've got Robert Roode. It's all TNA guys, which is, it's insane to think about that WWE, you've got Jeremy Borash as well.
Yeah, he's working behind the scenes, isn't he? Curry Man is there as well, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Shark Boy,
yeah,
he's producing main events for Roman Reigns,
So it's interesting to see that, they've grown up as TNA fans and they've been produced by TNA guys, so they feel that affinity with Impact. But they went on to say, so they're marking out all the times, as we mentioned, Best Petey Williams and all that, but they're saying bring us home, despite never having a run in TNA. I'd love to see it though.
But that's like us, or people who were here at the start of the formation of Cultaholic, seeing 5-star wrestling come back and then getting to work for 5-star wrestling.
Of course.
You're a massive fan of a promotion. It's living the dream to go and work for them. But if MMM, whatever sort of guys they're going, because obviously they've been sharing stories about sort of pitch gimmicks that didn't come to fruition on Twitch and stuff like that. So if they get to just do some stuff, express themselves, get their artistry out there, I'm all on board.
They seem really, really creative. That Reservoir Dogs Pulp Fiction one that they put online, I'd love to see them explore those characters. If both of them do end up going to TNA, obviously they've got that 90-day non-compete, but come on, Impact. They'd be a great signing.
Yeah, just let them do anything they want to do.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. It always ends well when wrestlers get to do anything they want to do. But yeah, if you want to watch or listen to, that episode of Desert Island Graps with Massey or Mace, however you like to pronounce it, that is live tomorrow.
You can also watch on the Patreon feed.
Yes,
Patreon.com/Cultaholic if you do actually want to watch it instead.
Well remembered, Fraser.
There we go.
The presenter who has his head screwed on. Anyway, someone who also has their head screwed on is Mandy Rose, who has been making millions of dollars since
millions
leaving
of dollars
the WWE and doing things on websites. Up the websites indeed. But Mandy has been speaking to TMZ and asked about the chances of making an in-ring return. She has sort of been flirting with the idea on social media, the right way to put it. It feels like she's been going like, oh, what if?
Potentially, maybe we'll get back in the ring. But she was saying, what to TMZ, listen, I do miss performing. I miss the camaraderie. I miss the adrenaline rush for sure. I can't sit here and say I don't miss it. However, I am keeping myself super busy to not have to really think about it as much. But I don't know the future. I'm a free agent now, and I've mentioned across social media, which kind of got out everywhere. But if the right call comes around and I feel like making an appearance and kind of coming back to any kind of wrestling federation out there, I'm not saying it's a no, but right now I'm pretty busy, so it's got to be the right call. I can't see her returning in wrestling unless it's WWE.
I reckon if she's given, assurances that she's going to be at a certain level on a certain card, potentially it could be elsewhere. But I also think if it is going to be returned to WWE, it is going to have to be on a main roster at a title level, because she is making that much money to be breaking her back by doing bumps on a wrestling ring for nothing. Make absolutely no sense.
Right? It's like you should be taking a pay cut. And she was one of the top talents in NXT for such a long time. That title reign was, over a year, I believe.
She was getting really good as well. People think, we satirically look at NXT. No, we're big fans of NXT on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast.
Yep.
The Toxic Attraction run with Mandy Rose as the focal point to produce some good matches. She was getting better. They
felt like they were about to hit that main roster as well. Yeah. Like it was a thing that was going to happen. Maybe we will see her back. I think it will definitely take a lot of money and a lot of WWE going, okay, we've got some concessions to make.
Yeah. But who knows, she might be sitting there thinking, I didn't get to win a main roster women's title. That's still on the bucket list. That's something to go and achieve. And of course, we finish off this news video with the headline news that WWE have finally confirmed through ESPN the signing of Jade Cargill, one of the worst kept secrets in the world of professional wrestling. It feels like we knew that this was going to happen a couple of weeks ago, but we finally have the confirmation today, Fraser.
And you mentioned someone like Mandy Rose who would want to be inserted in the top title picture, and this feels like someone that could possibly be in that top title picture. Obviously, you're saying ESPN, it was first reported by then, WWE confirming it. They said Cargill, a standout performer who has earned accolades as an industry-renowned talent, will begin training today at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. So confirmation there. There was speculation last week that she was already at the Performance Center, but that's confirmation that she's starting today. It's exciting.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting on that ESPN report, they say it remains unclear if Cargill will go straight to the main roster or she will first perform as part of NXT. I tell you what, I think it was Adam who was on this very desk here, floated the idea around of Jade Cargill being the trade to SmackDown after Jey Uso got moved to Raw. I think that would be very nice and tie in with Cody, who also gets mentioned in the ESPN report as the sort of like one of Jade's mentors from his time and her time in AEW. So I think you could tie all that together and also make Jade look like one of the biggest stars in the world already.
That's the thing, the fact that they've put in ESPN, they've got a big article about it, they've confirmed her signing ahead of any appearance. This feels like a big deal. It does feel kind of similar. This is the biggest jump from AEW to WWE that we've seen since Cody Rhodes, and imagine they have a chance here to go, okay, look, she's one of the best talents in the industry in the women's division. Let's utilize her in that way rather than keeping her in NXT. As much as NXT is great, no fault with NXT, she feels bigger than NXT.
She does. She's one of those people in the world of wrestling who has that it factor that a lot of wrestlers don't have, but she definitely has it. There is going to be people in the comments right now going, but Ross, she hasn't wrestled that much. I know that, but there's a way to hide the weaknesses.
She's undefeated.
Accentuate
Hey, she's lost twice, but she's undefeated.
She was undefeated for a while, but there's a way to hide the negatives, perceived negatives, I would say, of what am I trying to say? She's not experienced in the ring, is she?
Yes, she's not
in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, but I feel like WWE might find it easier to hide any weaknesses rather than AEW, which was fresher, and that was really her new. She's got a lot of support in WWE. I'm excited to see what she does.
Yeah, Triple H is taking the X.com, we should also say as well, saying a dominant athlete who is here to change the game. Triple H. Join me in welcoming the newest superstar, Jade Cargill, to the WWE Universe. We'll have to wait and see how soon after the Performance Center Performance Center debut, her first day at work at the Performance Center, how long after her television debut comes and where that debut happens. Let us know down below where you think that should be. Anything else to plug, Fraser?
Nothing right now. Just check out the interview with Mace on Desert Island Graps tomorrow on the podcast feed and patreon.com/Cultaholic, and check out Worst Shows Ever. I did one of them at the weekend. Fall Brawl 98.
Ooh.
It's bad.
Ooh. Bye.